Good day, guys. This is your host Naresh from Autocars India, bringing you live commentary of Formula One round number 11 at Hungary. Just to give you quick facts about the circuit, the first Grand Prix was held in 1983, and this race. Good day, guys. This is your host Naresh going from to Autocars India, really and thrilling race. Live commentary of Formula One round number 11 at Hungary. So quick facts about Hungary. First Grand Prix 1986, number of laps 70, circuit length 4.38 km. As the drivers are ready to get into the cars, race distance is 306 kilometers, with lap record sitting with Michael Schumacher 1 minute 19 seconds in 2004. Just to give you more updates, Felipe Massa is not running in this Grand Prix due to his illness and dizziness, as per the official statement which has come out by Williams. And Paul Di Resta, who ran the Formula One car 3 years back with Force India, is replacing him for this Grand Prix weekend. Not a very healthy sign for Williams teams. However, Paul Di Resta is a very committed driver and he gives 100%. So qualifying session 1 has started with 18 minutes to go in the session. The first car out on the track is of Mercedes, who are out on the track now. Give you more update here. Lewis Hamilton will be looking to equal the record of maximum poles with Michael Schumacher. Michael Schumacher holds the maximum pole positions in his career with 68 pole position in 243 races, whereas Lewis Hamilton is sitting at 67 pole positions in 198 races. We are in 16 minutes in this qualifying session 3. Most of the cars are there now on the track. Remember, top 16 will
after a wreck is you got to evaluate the situation.
Will go for the qualifying session 2. Sergio Perez is also on the outlap now. Fifteen minutes to go in this session. Sergio Perez is also on the outlap now. Valtteri Bottas on the curb in sector 2 had a slight 15 minutes to go in this session miss, but he joins the track safely. Hamilton right now topping the sheets.
Sergio Perez
1 minute
is
17
also on the
seconds
outlap now.
Vettel betters the time. He goes P1. Raikkonen goes even faster. He's in low 117s now. We are in 13 minutes of this session, and Raikkonen, Vettel, Hamilton, Kvyat, Carlos Sainz, Lance Stroll, Pascal Wehrlein, Marcus Ericsson, Paul di Resta are topping the sheets with completing top 10 with Paul di Resta. Sergio Perez, now he goes P7 with Fernando Alonso of McLaren still in the pits. Sergio Perez also had a rear axle free flowing in the corners. Bit of difficulty to take the turn for this car. Doesn't seem to be a great setup for the car. Kimi Raikkonen topping the sheets with 12 minutes to go for this session, followed by Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, Daniel Kvyat, Carlos Sainz, Sergio Perez, Lance Stroll, Pascal Wehrlein, Marcus Ericsson, completing the top 10. Still in the pits, Max Verstappen, Stoffel Vandoorne and Nico Hülkenberg. So Alonso and Vandoorne are on the track now with their outlap. Lewis Hamilton betters the time. He's still P2. Raikkonen has a clear time with 1/10 of a second faster than Kimi Raikkonen. Sebastian Vettel sitting at third place. This is round 11 of Formula 1 2017 at Hungary, Budapest. As I already updated, Felipe Massa is not taking part in this Grand Prix weekend because of his illness. He was complaining the illness and giddiness yesterday in Friday practice, and eventually he has decided that he would require some rest for this Grand Prix weekend. So Kimi Raikkonen, another fast lap, and he goes, and his time has been bettered by Sebastian Vettel. So Sebastian Vettel has gone P1, followed by Kimi Raikkonen, who is P2. Hamilton sits third, followed by Bottas at fourth position. Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen, they are also starting their time lap now. Daniel Ricciardo in the sector 1. Let's see how does he get the sector 1 timing. So he is already 2/10 slower on the sector 1 as compared to the P1 position of Sebastian Vettel. Ferraris are right on top with first and second position as expected with their performance in free practice 1, 2 and 3 this weekend. This way, if Mercedes doesn't seems to be very strong, so Red Bull had a chance and they will definitely like to cash in their chances, as the power is not the real mover for winning this Grand Prix. Daniel Ricciardo completing his final sector, coming close to the start finish line. Let's see where he finishes. He finishes P4. He displaces Bottas from 4th position. So pretty good run for Valtteri. However, Ricciardo betters it and he goes P4. Fernando Alonso in the meantime, final sector, coming to the start finish line. Where does he finishes? A lot of hopes from Fernando Alonso McLaren. Yes, he does. He finishes P6, which is a pretty good lap for Fernando Alonso. Max Verstappen also coming down last few corners, taking right turn, right-handed, the last turn on the track, coming to the start finish line, and he finishes P4. So Red Bull is definitely in the hunt for podium positions in this Grand Prix session. Going so far so good for Ferrari, doesn't seem to be challenged by Mercedes at all. However, we all know the greatness of Lewis Hamilton, who always has something to keep in his pocket and deliver at the right point. Time to come, we have only 8 minutes to go in this session, and as of now, drivers in relegation zone are Romain Grosjean, Haas, Pascal Wehrlein, Marcus Ericsson, Paul di Resta, Williams, and Kevin Magnussen of Haas are out in relegation zone. Pascal Wehrlein also had a shunt yesterday in free practice 2 session. Pascal Wehrlein doesn't seem to be improving his time in the sector 2, where he's already down by 0.6 of a second, and the second session is the one where you really have to grill the car, grill the grid, and get the timing out of the car. So let's see where he finishes. He comes home 17th position, which is not going to do any good for Pascal Wehrlein. Guys, this is Naresh from Auto Cars India, bringing you live commentary for Formula 1 round number 11 qualifying session at Hungary, Budapest. We have 6 minutes to go in qualifying session 1 with drivers in relegation zone: Romain Grosjean from Haas, Marcus Ericsson and Pascal Wehrlein from Sauber, Paul di Resta from Williams, who is replacing Felipe Massa due to his illness, and Kevin Magnussen is still sitting in the pits for Haas car. He has not come out of the pits to have any time lap. Max Verstappen in the meantime goes P2. This is a real good lap from Max Verstappen. He displaces Kimi Räikkönen from P2 position, and very good time. It's only the difference is 200 of a second slower than the timing sheet topper Sebastian Vettel of Ferrari. Real good lap for Max Verstappen. He needs to put all his effort together, and all the bad luck which is going on for him for last many races, in fact whole of the season in 2017, he needs to bring out good in this race, where Mercedes doesn't looking to be a very strong team, and a lot of hope sits with Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo of Red Bull. Pascal Wehrlein finished another lap, not able to do any better of his timing. In the meantime, we have 4 minutes to go in this session, and Romain Grosjean, Marcus Ericsson, Pascal Wehrlein, Paul di Resta, Kevin Magnussen are in the relegation zone. Just to remind, the bottom 5 drivers will be relegated from Q2 start. Sebastian Vettel sitting very pretty at P1 as of now in this session. Roman Grosjean betters his timing in sector 2 and he seems to be getting into the Q2, but not with big margin, with Sergio Perez presently at 15th position. Let's see what he does traversing the last few corners of the track, coming to the start finish line, and is he able to displace Sergio Perez? Yes, he does, and in fact he goes P12. In the meantime, Kevin Magnussen is also doing better. Where does he finishes? For Haas, finally he's out of the pits and he is doing quite well. Seems to be he should be comfortably moved to the top 15 position, and yes, he does. He goes P13. Drivers in relegation zone changing now pretty quickly with 2.5 minutes to go. Lance Stroll, Sergio Perez, Marcus Ericsson, Pascal Wehrlein and Paul di Resta are in the relegation zone. In the meantime, Daniel Kvyat moves to 10th position, betters his time. Sebastian Vettel sitting pretty in the pits and he should be comfortably making it to Q2. Just about 1.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session 1, with Sebastian Vettel topping the sheets. Drivers in relegation zone are Kevin Magnussen from Haas, Lance Stroll, Williams just displaces Kevin Magnussen to 16th position. Lance Stroll. 18th position is Marcus Ericsson and Pascal Wehrlein for Sauber's. Drivers in relegation zone. Lance Stroll also not having a very good time, going hard on the curbs and slipping and sliding. Needs to control the car well here. Remember, there are no margins of error whatsoever, and also this is a track which doesn't give you many opportunities to overtake, being start finish line closer to the first corner. We are just about under 1 minute to finish this session. Roman Grosjean is sitting in the last position and would like to better his time on 15th position, not to be in danger from Lance Stroll and Kevin Magnussen especially. Doesn't seem to be bettering his time. Roman Grosjean presently in 15th position. We have just about 20 seconds to go in this qualifying session 1. Can he do it? Just going start finish line. Yes, he does. Betters his time. He goes P14 and Sergio Perez now in the relegation zone. And here we have a slip and slide for Daniel Kvyat once again, and he's been nicknamed as Torpedo. What he does famously in the last Grand Prix also in British, and he takes off Fernando Alonso and Carlos Sainz. So Torpedo doing it once again in British Grand Prix. Look forward for a better race from the Russian. In the meantime, Paul di Resta, he's last on the grid and he will definitely like to mark his position in this Grand Prix. Where does he finishes? He goes 19. Not much improvement. So checkered flag is up and drivers have picked up the checkered flag except Lance Stroll, who will be one of the last drivers to cross the line. No, he doesn't. He is P17. So finally the drivers who have been relegated are Kevin Magnussen from Haas, Lance Stroll from Williams, Pascal Wehrlein from Sauber, Paul di Resta from Williams and Marcus Ericsson from Sauber. That brings the end to session number 1, qualifying session 1 of this Hungarian Grand Prix. Friends, do remember to like and subscribe my channel Auto Cars India, where I bring live updates for all the Formula 1 Grand Prix along with you all during this season. We have just about 5 minutes break for the second session to start off. So, topping the timesheets in Q1 is Sebastian Vettel, followed by Max Verstappen from Red Bull. Kimi Raikkonen sits at third place. Lewis Hamilton at fourth place for Mercedes. Red Bull, Daniel Ricciardo at fifth place. Mercedes, Valtteri Bottas at sixth place. Seventh place is Nico Hülkenberg from Renault. Eighth, Fernando Alonso. The team seems to be quite strong for this race, followed by teammate Stoffel Vandoorne, McLaren, Belgian driver, Jolyon Palmer in Renault at 10th position, 11th Daniel Kvyat, 12th Esteban Ocon, Force India, 13th Carlos Sainz, Toro Rosso, 14th Roman Grosjean, Haas, 15th Sergio Perez, Force India. To remind you, this is round 11 of Formula 1 Championship season 2017 at Hungary, Budapest. Mercedes is not seeming to be a strong team in this outing at Hungary. They have not done really well in any of the three free practice sessions which held yesterday and today. Friends, do remember to like and subscribe my channel by clicking on the right bottom corner of your screens. Auto Cars India, your host Naresh, and I am there to provide you live commentary for all the season as it unfolds. We are almost at the brink of summer break for Formula 1 Championship with last race here, and we'll be moving to Belgian Grand Prix in another 2 weeks time. So very interesting season unfolding. This one 2017, where Sebastian Vettel with 3 wins tops the point tally, 177 points. Lewis Hamilton has 4 wins, but 1 point lesser than Sebastian Vettel in Mercedes. So title battle hot, and Valtteri Bottas is catching up thick and fast with 2 wins, and he's just about 23 points behind Lewis Hamilton. So it's going to be triple challenge for the championship for the drivers, and Daniel Ricciardo is fair bit behind, and we do expect that. And however, he has also won 1 Grand Prix, so he's doing pretty well. Kimi Räikkönen, in spite of having good cars, some bad luck going on with him, he's sitting at the 5th place with 91 points with no victories. So session 2 has begun. 15 minutes to go in this session, and to qualify for the top 10 shootout. Ferrari is wasting no time whatsoever. Kimi Räikkönen is already on the track to set up the time lapse right at the word go. We are just about 13 minutes to go in the qualifying session 2. Most of the cars are coming on the track now, warming up in their out laps. Driver tire choices: super soft, soft and medium tires for this race. The great chances to have 2-stop race, but some of the drivers or the teams may opt for single stop. Like Mercedes, they have to think out of the box on how to cover up the performance gap which they feel clearly in this Grand Prix when compared to Ferraris. Ferrari is looking lean and strong in this outing. Lewis Hamilton in the first sector trying to set up the time. Talk about the speed traps. The fastest is Force India with Sergio Perez, 313 km/h. And most of the cars are evenly matched in this speed trap, because remember, this car is not heavy on the engines, and that is where McLaren is taking chances and gambling, where they got maximum number of elements of the car change in the last race at British Grand Prix to get the fresh car with fresh elements and compete in this race to get onto the point table. And Fernando Alonso and Stoffel Vandoorne has not disappointed in this way, and they really comfortably qualified for qualifying session 2, which is going on right now. Bottas tops the timesheet, first times on the sheet, and immediately Hamilton displaces it. Behind is Kimi Räikkönen, will he be able to do, and displaces Sebastian Vettel. Kimi Räikkönen is behind. Let's see whether he displaces. Vettel is P1. Kimi Räikkönen just traversing the last corner, coming to the start-finish state. No, he doesn't. He goes P3, in fact, below Lewis Hamilton. So Ferrari seems to be comfortable, but Kimi Räikkönen needs to put all his efforts together and apply himself, so he ensures there is 1-2 for Ferraris. And remember, Lewis Hamilton had that P2, even though he had a bit of slip and slide in the fast flowing corners in sector 1 and 2, but he still manages to come P2 pretty comfortably. Daniel Ricciardo in sector 1. He's not doing so fast. He's already half a second slower. But he should be comfortably sitting in Q3, as they have a fair bit of car with decent enough speed and the power. Just to update you again, Felipe Massa is not running in this Grand Prix after he completed free practice sessions due to his illness. The official statement which came from Williams teams says that he felt giddiness and not feeling well, so he opts out. Replaces him Paul Di Resta, Scottish driver who last ran 3 years back with Force India. Now he comes back with this hybrid engines. He has no experience whatsoever on the car and he gets to drive the car. He did fair bit in qualifying session 1. However, he could not bring the car to Q2. We have just about 9 minutes to go in this session. Max Verstappen starts his flying lap, goes to the first corner, second corner, rounds up nicely. Now the fast flowing circuit. Third, sector 1 just about to complete, fourth corner, fifth, a free flowing corner and a straight over there, almost about 500 meters in sector 1. Just completes the sector 1 with just about 110 slower than the P1. Does well to keep the car on the track, on the curbs, hitting hard on the curbs. Second sector seems to be good, but he has a traffic in front which doesn't seem to be obstructing him much. Sector 2 just about to get completed in fast flowing corner, and he's still just about 110 slower, which should be comfortable to put him in P2 once again. Let's see what he does in the sector 3, coming around the last corner before the start finish line. Very nicely done and crosses the line. P2, comfortably P2. So Max Verstappen is putting a strong case for this Grand Prix here at Hungary, Budapest, on this circuit. This circuit is also very, very important and rememberable circuit for Fernando Alonso, where he won his first Grand Prix and the first pole position way back in 2004 as the youngest Formula One driver to do so, though his record was taken down very soon after 5 or 6 months by Sebastian Vettel. At that time, Fernando Alonso go P7, seems to be comfortable. McLaren seems to be comfortable and strong on this track. Nico Hülkenberg is down almost half a second, so he's also looking very strong, though he should be able to put his car somewhere close to Fernando Alonso and Van Dome, 7th and 8th position. Let's see what does he do. Does he splits both the McLarens? No, he's actually better than McLarens. So drivers in relegation zone with 6 minutes to go. It's Carlos Sainz and Daniel Kvyat for Roman Grosjean in Haas, 13th position, 14th Sergio Perez and Roman Grosjean. Jolyon Palmer comes down, Esteban Ocon betters the time. Drivers in relegation zone: Palmer, Sainz, Kvyat, Roman Grosjean and Sergio Perez. I'm bringing you live commentary of Formula One season 2017, round number 11 from Hungaroring Budapest circuit, where 11th round of Formula 1 season 2017 is going on, with Vettel topping the sheets in Q2. Just about 5 minutes to go in this session. Drivers in relegation zone is Joel Palmer, Carlos Sainz, Daniel Kvyat, Roman Grosjean and Sergio Perez. As Roman Grosjean gets ready for one more go with just about 5 minutes to go in this session. Remember, 8th and 9th positions are also not very safe for McLaren, because there is a huge gap between them and the 7th position car Daniel Ricciardo, almost 3/10 of a second. So I'm sure Fernando Alonso and Stoffel Vandoorne will be coming out for one more time lap and would like to safeguard their position in this session. Just about 4 minutes to go in this session. All the drivers are in the pits, no cars on the track. Everybody getting ready, changing the tires, making the last minute changes and getting ready to come on the track. With 4 minutes to go in this session, Joel Palmer from Renault, Carlos Sainz, Toro Rosso, Daniel Kvyat, Toro Rosso, Roman Grosjean, Haas and Sergio Perez from Force India are in the relegation zone as of now and will like to surely challenge their timings and try to come out of the relegation zone, with both Mercedes first one to come out for the one more lap and stamping their positions for top 10 shootout. Nico Hülkenberg is looking pretty strong in Renault, with presently holding 6th position. Fernando Alonso, as always, calm and cool in his car, waiting for his turn to go out. And he takes off out of the garage for one last time in this session to ensure his position secured for top 10 shootout. And this is one of the first races in this season where McLaren is looking comfortably to go into the session 3, the final top 10 shootout, which is good to see. Max Verstappen pretty comfortably in position 2 and challenging the pole position in this Hungarian round of Formula 1 2017 season, which is 11th round of this season. McLaren looking pretty strong in this session here in this Grand Prix. With just about 1 minute to go, track action heating up. Joel Palmer from Renault in relegation zone along with other drivers of Carlos Sainz at 12th position presently, with Toro Rosso, Daniel Kvyat, Toro Rosso Russian driver at 13th, Roman Grosjean at 14th position from Haas, 15th Sergio Perez. Drivers already out are Carlos Sainz, Toro Rosso, Roman Grosjean, Haas. checker flag is just about to wave off. And checkered flag has gone up. Esteban Ocon have his last chance to better his timing. Will he be able to do it? He's presently on 11th and he has better his timing, but he's down. He's in the 11th position. Daniel Kvyat, next one. Jolyon Palmer, he's also on the last few corners in the relegation zone. Carlos Sainz sitting tight. He's presently on the 10th position. He's also on the track. Jolyon Palmer traversing the last corner, and will he be able to come out for Renault? No, he doesn't. He stays at 11th position. Sergio Perez, the next one up, he needs to come out and better his timing. Will he be able to do it? No, he doesn't. He stays at P14. So the only driver who is out is right now Grosjean, who has to complete his lap, and it does not seem that he'll be able to displace Carlos Sainz. So finally, the drivers' checkered flag is out and qualifying session 2 completes with Palmer, Ocon, Kvyat, Perez and Grosjean out of the top 10 shootout. So qualifying session 2 finishes and Lewis Hamilton tops the timesheets. Once again, he finds some time from the pocket and delivers at the time when it is most required. We have about 5 minutes to go for the final top 10 shootout. It was a good session for Romain Grosjean where he was out, and with Jolyon Palmer, Esteban Ocon, Daniel Kvyat, Sergio Perez, they are out from top 10 shootout. So as all the drivers are getting ready for qualifying session 3, history is waiting to be made where Lewis Hamilton is going to chase his 68th pole and if he does so in this Grand Prix, that will be an achievement, because he will equal the record held by Michael Schumacher with 68 pole positions. He is having 67 pole positions, and he will like to achieve that in this Grand Prix. So will he be able to make the history in this Grand Prix? It's time will tell. With another 15 minutes to go, whether the history is made or he has to wait for another summer break and come in Hungarian Grand Prix to equal the record of Michael Schumacher. With drivers who are out from qualifying are Jolyon Palmer, Esteban Ocon, Daniel Kvyat, Sergio Perez, Roman Grosjean, Kevin Magnussen, Lance Stroll, Pascal Wehrlein, Paul di Resta, and Marcus Ericsson. Top 10 in the timesheet: Lewis Hamilton P1, Sebastian Vettel P2, Max Verstappen is third, followed by Kimi Raikkonen fourth. And just to give you an update, track temperatures have gone up to 50 degrees Celsius, which is working good for the cars. I'm sure not for the drivers. Valtteri Bottas 5th position, Nico Hülkenberg 6th, Daniel Ricciardo 7th, Fernando Alonso 8th, 9th Stoffel Vandoorne, Carlos Sainz in 10th position. And I'm sure these timings and these positions will be changing thick and fast as the final shootout comes for pole position, where Lewis Hamilton is chasing the history to be made here. Chances are slim, but he has shown the pace in qualifying session 2. Now, just few minutes time, we will be seeing whether the record is made or record is still intact for one more Grand Prix. I am your host Naresh from Autocars India, bringing you live commentary from Hungary, Budapest, round number 11 of Formula 1 2017 season. So third qualifying session for pole position shootout starts off with 12 minutes to go in this session. The first car to come out is of Renault, followed by Mercedes, Valtteri Bottas. And it's going to be tough who will take the pole position. Serious contention sits with Max Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton here. Let's see, is there a springing a surprise, or it goes with as usual as all the pundits are thinking of. All the drivers are on the track with Lewis Hamilton leading the way, and Valtteri Bottas, the first one to start off the time lap, starts off the sector 1 first nicely, nicely flowing circuit and nicely controlling the cars on the curbs, not hitting the curbs too hard and carrying the speed as much as possible. Sets up first sector, pretty good timing. The real difference will come in the sector 2, where he's not been apparently too strong in sector 2. Sebastian Vettel is behind him. Goes 90-degree corner in sector number 2. And Vettel does better in the sector 2. So Bottas doesn't seem to be very strong. Coming around last corner, starts stop straight and goes P1 momentarily. I'm sure Sebastian Vettel is going to topple him very soon, in another few seconds. And here we go. Sebastian Vettel goes P1 comfortably, faster than 0.3 of the second. So can Hamilton match that, with Kimi Raikkonen the second one to go for this? And Kimi Raikkonen also seemingly quite strong here with super soft tires on. Followed with him is Daniel Ricciardo. Last corner for Kimi Raikkonen, start finish straight. Comes around, done it nicely. And where does he finish? He's P3. He's P3, not a very good time. Daniel Ricciardo behind him. Coming around, start finish straight. And he finishes P3. So he displaces Kimi Raikkonen. Where is Lewis Hamilton? Lewis Hamilton has gone back to the pits. Did he make some mistake? Because he lost his chance to make one round in the first half of this. He surely made a mistake. Yes, he made a big mistake. Luckily, he did not spun the car and hit the barriers, which is good. So now it leaves straight and simple for him. He gets one lap and he has to deliver. In the meantime, Max Verstappen is having his out lap and he starts off his lap very soon also. Max Verstappen nicely moving the first corner, done well. Goes to the second flowing corner on this circuit, carrying maximum speed as possible. Also the third corner, long U-turn, hairpin, and he does it nicely. On the start finish, where does his timing stands? He is 0.2 of the second slower with the Vettel's time. He's gone little wide in sector 2 also, so doesn't seems to be that he'll be actually challenging the position in this lap. He's trying to cover up maximum time in sector 2. Where does he finish? He loses further time. He is already 0.3 of a second slower and looks to be he will catch up with the P3 as of now, unless he does something good, strong in the last sector. Comes around in the start finish line. Where does he finish? Yes, he does at P3, which was expected. Alonso and Van Dorn from McLaren has decided they will only opt for one run, with Lewis Hamilton spoiled his chance by sliding around on the circuit, and he gets only one time also. So now Sebastian Vettel seeming to be very strong to pull out the pole position. It's just about 5 minutes to go. Except Verstappen, all the cars have come to the pits. And remember, Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz, they have not set up any timing. Change of tire goes on for all the cars, final settings, and anxious moment for the driver. These last 4.5 5 minutes of this qualifying session 3, final session for top 10 shootout, with Lewis Hamilton chasing the glory of equaling the world record set up by Michael Schumacher in most number of qualifyings by a driver, pole positions, with 67 presently sitting with Lewis Hamilton and chasing a target of 68 held by Michael Schumacher, the great of Formula One. McLaren with Fernando Alonso and Van Dome are pretty strong in this race. Let's see whether they can displace Nico Hülkenberg, which is quite a distance in terms of timing, with almost 0.2 of a second faster than McLaren drivers. Not much time to go for this. We have only 3.5 minutes to go to decide the pole position and decide whether another world record is going to be equaled today. Lewis Hamilton in last few races has equaled many world records in Formula One. So here, get set go for Lewis Hamilton. Comes out of the pits looking very comfortable, cool and calm as he leaves the pits. With super soft tires on, track temperatures are high 40s, touching 50 degrees Celsius, which is ideal for Mercedes car, which takes time to warm up their tires. So, driver to watch, Lewis Hamilton with no time set in this final qualifying session, and Sebastian Vettel, who seems to be stamping the authority with pole position, and Max Verstappen ready to spring a surprise by clinching the pole position in this Hungarian Grand Prix, with both the McLarens also coming out with cool and calm heads under the helmet. Fernando Alonso and Stoffel Van Dome, they believe they can pick up some good points in this race. Warm up lap on with 2 minutes 10 seconds to go in this final top 10 shootout. As the warm up lap goes on, please do remember to like and subscribe my channel by clicking on the right bottom corner subscribe button. I'm your host Naresh from Autocars India, bringing you live commentary all over the globe for my friends and subscribers. This live action coming for Hungarian Grand Prix 2017 Formula One season, 11th round of this Formula One season, with Felipe Massa not taking part in this weekend race because of his illness, and Mercedes doesn't seems to be pretty strong, and Lewis Hamilton on the track already down on the timing, doesn't seems to be doing better in the sector 1. Will he be able to pick up the time in sector 2? We'll see few seconds over there, nicely cutting the corners. Time to watch 54.797 seconds. Completes the sector 2. He is 110 down, so he does not get time to do his better. Will he be able to get another lap on his car? With 50 seconds to go, he will be able to run another lap. Let's see what he does in this. Surely he's not going to challenge the P1, and rightly so, he's P3, and he starts off another lap. With Valtteri Bottas is also slower on Vettel's time. He is 600 of seconds slower than Valtteri, than Sebastian Vettel. As of now, challenge doesn't seem to be picking up for Sebastian Vettel. Valtteri Bottas coming around last corner, and where does he finishes? He goes P2. Sebastian Vettel is on provisional pole. Daniel Ricciardo, he is pretty slow. He's 0.3 of a second slower, but he can still displace Lewis Hamilton. Let's see what he does. Cleanly doing last few corners on the track. Final corner, cuts it nicely. Start finish line. Where does he finish? He goes P5. Sebastian Vettel now, destiny in his own hands. Last corner, does it nicely. Will he be able to better the time? He is on pole position as of now, and he doesn't do the better timing. He stays there. Kimi Raikkonen, next one. He goes P2. He displaces Bottas. What a finish for Ferrari. 1-2 for red Scarlet Ferrari. Bottas in the third position. Lewis Hamilton, they have surely displaced. Lewis Hamilton still on the track. Max Verstappen 5th, Daniel Ricciardo 6th, Nico Hülkenberg 7th position, Alonso and Van Doom 8th and 9th position, and the last position for Carlos Sainz. Finally, after many years of dominance by Mercedes, this is rightly the dominance of Scarlet Ferrari is going to start, where Lewis Hamilton does not challenge the world record set up by Michael Schumacher. And here Sebastian Vettel is the pole position winner, and he does it in style. He gets his 48th career pole. Sebastian Vettel gets his career pole, 48th, and does it in style. So as the result stands, Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen completes 1-2 for Ferrari. After a long time, we see Scarlet Ferraris on the pole position, and followed by Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton at third and fourth position, followed by Max Verstappen, fifth position from Red Bull. Daniel Ricciardo will start at sixth position behind his teammate Nico Hülkenberg from Renault, as usual, always bringing out good in 7th position. Fernando Alonso starts 8th position. 9th goes to Stoffel Van Dom. 10th position is Carlos Sainz. 11th position starting will be by Jolyon Palmer of Renault. Then 12th position Esteban Ocon, Force India. Daniel Kvyat, Toro Rosso starts at 13th. 14th Sergio Perez in Force India. Roman Grosjean from Haas starts at 15th. 16th position Kevin Magnussen, Haas. 17th Lance Stroll, Williams. 18th position Pascal Wehrlein, Sauber. 19th Williams, Paul Di Resta replacing Felipe Massa. 20th position, last position starting for Marcus Ericsson from Sauber. This was a thrilling qualifying session where we saw some strong performances by Ferrari over a long time, with P1 and P2 going to Ferrari, and clearly displaced Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas in Mercedes cars. followed as usual business by Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen, followed by Nico Hülkenberg in Renault, and surprises for McLaren. No surprises actually, because this is supposed to be the fastest and strongest track. Whatever package McLaren has to offer, this was the fastest, strongest race expected for McLaren, and rightly so. They have taken chances and they came out pretty strong with last position for Toro Rosso. Force India's performance is surely down from what we were expecting and seeing from last many races. With this, I will conclude this live commentary, and looking forward to have you all my friends around the world to come and join me live commentary for the race day Hungarian Grand Prix at Budapest, Formula 1 round 11 of 2017 calendar. Good day, drive safely, and I am signing off. Your host Naresh from Auto Cars India. Before sign off, like to ask you and request you, please click and subscribe my channel by hitting the subscribe button on the right bottom corner of your screen. Good day, take care, and bye bye. See you tomorrow once again.